This is St. Cecilia's Hall. Most of you know it is kind of a multi-purpose room. Over the years, it's been an area for assemblies, for study halls. It was the school's primary theater for both the girls' school and the upper school until Kite Theater was built in the mid-'80s. But this was the primary theater up until that point. It's also, at one point, it was a lounge with some ping pong tables in it. Hence, I think there's even still a broken stained glass window because of that one. But in the early years, in 1893, this was the site of our second graduation. There were only 2 graduates. I think it was the first one that was actually on campus because the chapel wasn't done yet. And documentation from the time tells us, if you can just envision in here, that you had your 2 graduates, and at the ceremony that the paintings had just been done, and there were 6 harps, 5 pianos, and supposedly 80 singers. What most people notice, aside from the stained glass, which is still the original, and we found how incredibly difficult it is to replace some of these panes, but what most people notice are the 2 paintings. They were done early on in the 1890s by 2 of the nuns, Sister Birchmans of Mary and Sister Marie de Saint-Esprit. And Sister Marie was our first art teacher. And actually the art area, the art studio, was on the top floor of the school, that 4th floor that nobody gets to go to. And at one point it was even referred to as sky high. And a lot of what the girls did was painting china. So these 2 paintings were done by them. One is actually painted over an original version of it. In the one that's on the right as you walk in from the building, you see St. Catherine of Alexandria, who the nuns had picked as our patroness, our patron saint of the summit. St. Catherine was a princess and a scholar. She was brought to task by the ruler in Alexandria and made to sit and debate with a room full of pagan philosophers. The painting is called St. Catherine Before the Doctors. She defeated them with her intellect and her logic and was set to be tortured on the St. Catherine wheel. And the St. Catherine wheel is actually, along with the fleur-de-lis, part of the summit's official crest. She touched the St. Catherine wheel and it blew up. So in the end, they decided to behead her, but in a rather gruesome tale, what came out was not blood, it was milk. So take that for what you will. That is the story of St. Catherine of Alexandria. Also, another interesting point, she was one of the saints that St. Joan of Arc reported guided her throughout her life. The other painting is St. Cecilia, who is the patroness of music. And in that, she is listening to the wonderful sounds of the heavenly cherubic choirs.